Welcome to another CIRF report. I apologize for missing yesterday. Thanks for everybody's patience. We are back in the studio, and I decided to do a Monday version, and we'll eliminate yesterday's, Sundays, and eliminate Tuesdays. So we'll go today, Monday, and then Thursday will be our next one back on schedule. All right, DreamBot. If you don't know what DreamBot is, go search out for our beginner's guide. It's in the description below. Zoom in and you can see two main themes here: life and death. The blue arrows is life and giving and heart and healing. The red is all about destroying. In fact, the top word up there is destroy. In fact, look at the first three words: April, destroy, sun. Interesting. Keep in mind, it is April 1st. This is the bot run for April Fool's Day. So do we have to trust this? The answer is not that particular linguistics, but we do have to trust these two memes, because I'm going to tell you, in the astrology, there's multiple examples of this life and death, and we're going to go through it. This is Tuesday astrology for 2, and we've got two different, well, we've got like basically 4 conjunctions going on. The first one happens in just a few hours when the moon meets up with Venus. This is basically life, you know, it's fertility, it's relationships and that sort of thing. And then a little bit later on, Mercury connects again with Neptune, so the planet of dreaminess, in Pisces. So very imaginative. We've been talking about this for quite some time, because Mercury was in retrograde and stopped shortly thereafter from Neptune, and then it's starting to make its way back. So that's why this has been in the astrology for quite some time now. But then the moon keeps on progressing, and it's going to hit with Mercury and Neptune tomorrow night, which is Tuesday night. And all of these planets basically are all lined up in Pisces. So, well, dreamy. I mean, it's nothing much different than what we talked about before. But here's the deal: you have, well, I'll talk about the sidereal later, so disregard that. We don't quite have a whole lot of life and death in this situation, but check this out. On Wednesday, you have the moon entering a sextile with Pluto, Pluto being the destroyer, death, rebirth. That's that cycle. And hey, that's the whole cycle we're talking about here: life, death. So right there is one example of the life, death. And then you have the square over to Jupiter, which is in Sagittarius. And, you know, the square is not all that appealing, but in this case, still have good vibes and, you know, fairly good mood. But the problem is you kind of get sucker punched in here, because you're not having good boundaries, and you're feeling too good about yourself and that sort of thing. But watch this. And as we get even closer, we're getting more and more into this life-death scenario. Check this out. This is 4-4. So Thursday, moon sextile Mars, Mars being somewhat of a destroyer, but a fighter and a warrior and that kind of thing. So can definitely destroy, but it can also protect. But at the same time, you have the moon conjunct Chiron, and Chiron being the wounded healer, also a warrior. So you've got two warrior aspects all at the same time. That would be much more related to death destroying, but Chiron is a healer. So that's part of the life and giving and healing aspect. And then I don't have a slide yet for Friday, the 5th. Let me check that date first. Yeah, the 5th is Friday. And the reason why that's important is because the moon's going to keep on going till it hits the moon, and we've got a new moon. And up until this point is the death of the old. It's just the basic new moon cycle. As we enter that new moon phase, where it goes into complete darkness, the moon that is signaling kind of a death of the old. And symbolically, we start to birth the new, and then you start seeing the crescent moon, and as it starts to go towards full moon, waxing, as they call it. And so multiple aspects here about life and death. And in my opinion, I think we really need to hone in on this area because it has been strong recently and it continues to be strong. But I think it holds the most significant influence of all the other aspects up until the full moon. But the new moon. The new moon is going to be after the next dream bot run or the next CIRF report. So that's not included here. But you can see where that's going to be. That's going to be in Sidereal Pisces. So right now, I think the best preparation for death of the old is in this Sidereal Aquarius. I almost said Pisces. Whoosh. So Aquarius is collective concern. It's being able to dissociate when you need to, but at the same time, you can bring in a lot of new thought, very intellectual. And let's face it, it's all about change. And that's what this whole thing is all about. Life, death, cycle. Actually, it's reverse of that. It's death, then life. Cycle is all about, Aquarius. So this is perfect little conjunctions right here in the Aquarius constellation. And so getting in alignment with that, the best Aquarius that you have, I think is going to be the best solution. Now, you're welcome to transition, if you'd like, into more of the Pisces, and that would be more on Thursday as you get ready for the new moon. And I think that's probably very warranted to do that. You've got the Chiron aspect, start getting prepared for that new moon. So you kind of want to heal your emotions, moon being the emotions, Chiron being the healer. So healing your emotions dictating the past or coming back, relating to the past. So perfect place to start in on your Pisces, feeling and sensing and experiencing, even empathizing with others would be a great thing to do as you prepare for the new you. So let's look at the NDC. Don't freak out on me. This is kind of a morbid picture, but it's life and death. And, death is part of life. It's part of the cycle. We've been disconnected from that whole side of it because, frankly, we die. Most of us die in the hospital. Nobody's there and, quickly take us to the cemetery, lock us up in a vault and put us in the ground. So we're kind of disconnected from death altogether. I'm not a morbid person, so don't worry. But it is part of life. And the phase of what we're heading towards right now, which I think the collective unconscious is hinting at or seeing in the dreams, is that it's the death cycle right now. And we are willingly getting rid of the old, shedding the old stuff, part of us that no longer serves us. And then moving on to the new. The new moon's going to be rebirthing you on the 5th, which is Friday. And then this is intervention. Same background picture, but do formulate the new you as you say goodbye to the old self. So that's the death side of it. Death is first on the left-hand side. And then the new you is saying don't keep holding on to that which no longer serves you. So be prepared to start eliminating, start shedding this stuff that no longer serves you and make yourself a better person each and every day. Evolve, learn from the lessons from the past. And Friday is going to be your really great chance of establishing some new habit, new routine, something new that edifies you and makes you feel better, and makes you healthier and more full of life. All right. I think that's it. We have any questions from the crowd? No, we say no. Okay. All right, no questions. We will see you guys on Thursday. Thanks for being here, everybody.